Hey guys, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Today I'm going to be showcasing my Raiden, specifically how to effectively rotate your elemental burst given floor 12 with high tides and low tides. So first I pop my Venti ult and Mona ult, and then immediately after I switch to Raiden, just so that I can get the high tide. Now you want to always pop your Raiden's elemental burst during high tide. I would say the most efficient way for Raiden to use her burst would be popping her ult right after it switches to high tide. So the moment it switches.
Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered.
So generally how you want the rotation to work is during low tide, you pop 3 of your elemental burst, and then you swap, press E, then as soon as it turns high tide, you press Q with Raiden, and then you use slash.
Now you shall perish. Here we go.
So over here I would say my rotation's kinda screwed up. Raiden doesn't have elemental burst during high tide, and all the others don't have elemental burst. So in the meantime, I just gather all my elemental burst for my 3 supports during high tide, and then in low tide, that's when I pop them. Now as you can see, I wait until the next high tide before I pop my Raiden's ult. I feel that's the most efficient way to make use out of Raiden's energy recharge.
Remove all obstacles. Decided by destiny. Here we go. Barbados, guide us. Time for takeoff. Now you shall perish. Illusion shattered.
So in the remaining time we have, right now I'm just trying to lower down both the enemies at the same time, so that when one dies earlier than the other, it doesn't necessarily bring them, it doesn't bring back the other enemy's HP back to half.
There is no escape. Yahoo! Let me scribe. Shine down. Torn to a.
Now for the second round. So to start things off, since I don't really have that much elemental burst up, I rotate first during high tide with my other supports, popping all of their elemental skills to gain back their burst. As soon as it turns low tide, that's when I pop their elemental burst, and right after low tide ends, that's when I pop Raiden's. So you need to wait around 20 seconds before you pop Raiden's elemental burst again. And as you can see, the waiting and synchronization effectively defeated the first 2 enemies.
Think you can get away? Decided by destiny. Wind, hear me. There is no
So high
escape.
tide, I pop Raiden's
Torn
first.
to oblivion.
Then low tide, I pop my support's elemental burst and skills.
Let me scribe. Written in the stars. Inazuma shines eternal. Shadows of.
Now here, observe, this is what I would call the most ideal situation for your rotation, where in the low tide, burst,
Brace yourself.
then high tide, Raiden burst.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
And look at that, all my bursts are back up for all my supports.
Barbados, guide us. Let's play. Time for takeoff. Fate is upon you. Torn to oblivion. Brace yourself. Think you can get away? Written in the stars. I swear by my sword. Shine down. Now you shall perish.
Now for round 3. again. First High Tide, farm Elemental Burst.
Illusion shattered.
During the first Low Tide, you pop my Elemental Burst for my
Barbados,
supports.
guide us. Time for takeoff. Decided by destiny. There is no escape.
And then finally when it's
Torn
back to High Tide, pop Raiden's Elemental Burst.
Illusion shattered. Go and play. Think you can get away? Written in the stars. Let me scribe. Barely a scratch. Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape. Go and play. Here we go. Time for takeoff.
Now this rotation is perfect because just about now, Raiden's Elemental Burst will be active and we can do the whole thing over again. Unfortunately though, I do miss, and so then, yeah.
Shine down. Yahoo!
So because of that screw up, I have to pop my Elemental Burst for my supports during High Tide.
Guide us. Written in the stars.
And as you can see, in order to solve this problem, I wait out the whole Low Tide and don't use my Elemental Burst for Raiden throughout the whole Low Tide. And as you can see, in total, while waiting throughout that whole duration, I popped 2 Mona ults, 1 Venti, and 1 Jean. So that will bring me around 32 resolve stacks all the way up to around 43 at my current talent level. It could go higher, but right now my Raiden's in a bit of a budget.
Here we go. Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish. There is no escape. Yahoo! Think you can get away? Written in the stars. Barbados, guide us. Inazuma shines eternal. Illusion shattered.
So here, I'm just finishing off the last enemy, and yeah.
Time for takeoff. Fate is upon you. Now you shall perish.
So for my build, I have 51 166 with 230 energy recharge, Crescent Pike at level 80. I don't have my deathmatch yet, so I'll be waiting on that. And so yeah, you can just pause the video to see each one. C0 talent level is 446, and so I was able to clear Abyss with just that. Now for my supports, I would say it's pretty trash. I have a 40, 80, 200 energy recharge with a Favonius Codex, Mona, C0, and level 6 for Elemental Burst. My Venti is also sad, 35, 140, with Stringless level 80 and for a Wondrous Troop and Noblesse Oblige. And with a C2 Gene, basically just my attack stat bot for healing. And throughout this, my conclusion is that even though you have not the best supports, you're still able to clear Abyss with decent investment on Raiden. You can also replace Mona for Xingqiu, but I brought out Mona because she's been benched for literal months.